Blue lipstick 300 pounds. They them dev that syndrome down. Antagonize right after ignoring woke propaganda, everyone snoring. Giveaway codes 2 days after launch. 8 years wasted, blame the conch. Clowns robots with pronouns, oh dear. Players down to double digits, weird. Quickly remove LGBT. Fat bitch but sales not as meaty. Heroes repulsive, devs out of touch. Even free to play might be too much. Sony censor stellar blade. DEI ugly, drink the Kool-Aid. They them dev said talentless freaks, less players than Professor got underwear streaks. Wisniewski crank privilege, zero wides. Politically correct heroes against tides. Firewalk wear tiara and sash. My pronouns are skip this trash. Hello, beta testers. Like and subscribe to join over 104,000 noticers. Congratulations on yet another milestone. Why'd the LGBT pronoun game lose Sony $200 million? The $40 price tag? So, by this logic, when the game is free to play, it will be fine despite the lack of interest during the beta period. Oh, it's a hero shooter in an oversaturated market. What about Deadlock? Oh, it's because it's Valve. What about Marvel Rivals? Oh, it's because it's a big Marvel IP, right? What about Mecha Break? Or is it because Jiggle Physics waifus, which makes the billions that, seems to be keeping MiHoYo and everybody else afloat in the midst of this Western collapse? Maybe the Concord episode of the upcoming secret level anthology show on Amazon will just shock life into the dying player base of this ugly game that's already dipped into double-digit player numbers, which naturally creates dramatic issues for matchmaking in this online game. Journalists will say things like,
"Man, Concord really is scratching that multiplayer itch I've had for a while. Everything is designed immaculately. Blech. Each design choice feels deliberate. What? From character kits to map layouts.
Man, no taste, no experience, no standards.
If you're looking for a new shooter that values you squatting up or running solos, this is it,"
says IGN journalist. Our user responds, "It's not too late to delete this." They say,
"Not too late to be a decent human being."
Moron. A Concord dev that identifies as they-them relevant because of the political and LGBT focus of Sony's hero shooter live service where even the robot has pronouns, but this is only a focus when it's profitable, as indicated by the abrupt removal of the politics and LGBT tag. I don't care how or why it happened, the fact is it did, it was documented, and this is now about optics. The optics paint a picture with your less than 700 player game not selling well and you needing to remove that. Maybe both sides can recognize what I've been trying to articulate is blatant pandering, performative diversity delivered by out of touch and frankly immature developers mishandling a video game where, for some bizarre reason, identity politics was the approach they chose to hook people with. And congratulations, you've had the opposite effect. Sony's really been trying to force it so hard. Mary Jane has to be ugly, roided out woman, butt sex, gay kisses, race swaps, pandering. Censoring is what Sony's all about. 94,000 people signed a petition to uncensor Stellar Blade, a game that you're hearing the music of right now. But 700 people was asking a bit much when it came to the amount of players who were supposed to see your politics and LGBT, robot has pronouns, fat, black, blue lipstick, pierced nose, here's another fat character. Jesus, you're so transparent. You want everybody to pretend that at a glance you're not repulsive, as if the cover doesn't matter, as if we don't have phrases like, don't judge a book by its cover, because it is typical to assume, based on what's being advertised, that what you're being shown could potentially be what you're getting. And that's what they took you at, face value. That's the ugly shit that you're putting on display? Good day. A bold marketing strategy indeed, hiring strictly the type of people who would nod in agreement at such blatantly terrible designs. But most people that are shillin' dare not mention it. Why? Because it would call attention to A, the designers and developers who, for some reason, very much needed to just make it worse instead of making it appealing, human, or maybe attractive, sexy. That or acknowledge the ESG, DEI, inclusive growth, sensitivity consultation of it all, and they know that's a boogeyman that they should shut the fuck up with. And there's some other things that are going to be joining that list now that you've seen the kind of numbers your modern audience can scare up. So when your identity politics game flops and the they-them developers feel the need online to iterate that they regard other people as talentless freaks in this game that they can't manage 700 people to play, ask anyone who doesn't have dyed hair or pronouns what the optics for this are like. Judged on its own, Concord's bad enough, but in the midst of the slop that everyone's thoroughly exhausted by, BlackRock's assault on culture and Sony's censorship resisting femininity as Asians flank you, making billions, while these Western studios are busy getting high on their own farts with brain-damaged woke activists that are actually rewriting another culture's language to inject identity politics into a goddamn Spider-Man game where instead of swinging around, you're just walking around in school, you're walking around at a carnival, you're playing Mary Jane, you're playing the deaf black girl. It's just mad walks in this game and bicycle riding sections because all y'all want to make is Life is Strange. Microsoft has done irreparable harm to itself, but you did it worse with... And I'm trying to stay away from the joke of you hurt yourself with Concord. That's representation. You know what I mean? Because these people thrust statistics in our face as if it's our fault that they going through what they going through. But when we put the numbers up for them, oh, those numbers, they don't suit your narrative. So you just gonna say it's a bunch of different things, right? Normies can try to claim it's the price, it's the release window, or the scary anti-woke YouTubers. The fact is, this hero shooter lacks good heroes. It is a bad game. Many people will claim it's a good game, it's serviceable, but it's not good enough. It not only doesn't justify its price, but as far as many people are concerned, it barely justifies a second glance on all sides of the aisle. The sentiments reflect people who feel just like me. And when Saints Row Reboot failed, it was mainly because of the quippy waffle maker student loan bullshit of these developers that refused any edge. You took the Saints out of Saints Row. It's like taking the dinosaur out of Jurassic Park. Concord took the hero out of the hero shooter, and you're expecting people to latch on to this? Vignettes will save it, right? That's what people want instead of gameplay. Concord's got animated shorts and an episode for an anthology series. Just hold on, please. Sony bending over for BlackRock is taking the hetero out of art, so good luck having a cyberpunk Edge Runners effect with your dog water sensitive PC slop you're putting out. But again, feel free to pretend that it's not the designs, it's not the ugly women, it's not the forced flat chests and downgrades specifically and consistently affecting only, exclusively the women. And let's see how much you can get away with. You've got money to lose, right? You're like Disney or something? It's almost sad. But not for the industry. This is infinitely a good thing for the industry because it is going to focus the lens on the types of dyed-haired narcissists who would effortlessly throw their entire studio under the bus in a moment to pursue their agenda because they're on the right side of history and nothing matters more than their message. Believe it or not, me taking the time to plainly articulate this message is not even trying to convince people in the way of shareholders or investors. It's not leaving a paper trail. It's just something to age like fine wine as we approach something like Star Wars, something like Yasuke, because again, they're going to be able to hide behind the money that they can point to as a success. But when there is no money to hide behind, that's when we need answers. Just like right now. Beta tester, I love you to death. Like this video, comment to get it out into the algorithm, but make sure nobody is speaking on your behalf. I encourage you to be civil, but make your voice heard. it will be very difficult in a time where, even with them trying to censor and remove your post and filter stuff out immediately, it'll be difficult for them to silence all of you. You're being heard because you're speaking the way that they listen. And I'm doing a money thing with my hands. I'll see you later, guys. I love you.